Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Morning Tapes Podcast. My name is Matthew Fontaine, and I hope you are having or had, once again, a great morning today. You know, episode 10, double digits, we did it, guys. Just give it up, you know. It's been a wild ride. Not really. It's I've enjoyed doing this podcast. We're gonna keep it up for the new year coming up. This episode comes out New Year's Eve, so you know, got a lot to look forward to for the next year, which we will dive into. This episode's kind of gonna discuss what's to come for the channel as well as this podcast for 2026, as well as kind of just talking about my ideas for what I have. Not necessarily planned, but what I'm kind of thinking of doing. So, yeah. Also, want to talk about the news briefly. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it. Talking about the news this week, it is impossible to not talk about Marty Supreme. I'm actually gonna look up the tomato rate. I think it's a 95% on Tomatoes, if I'm correct. 94. Wow. Someone didn't like it, I guess. 94 on Rotten Tomatoes, a 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb, and a 4.3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Overall, people are loving this movie, and let me just say, I got the opportunity to watch this movie over the weekend with my girlfriend, and oh my god, great movie. Absolutely phenomenal movie. I almost cried at the end there because a very emotional ending. I'm also a bitch. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you like films, I mean, you don't even have to love films, but if you know The Wolf of Wall Street, everyone knows The Wolf of Wall Street, but if you've seen it, it kind of feels like that a little bit. You kind of get some hints of Wolf of Wall Street in this movie. I don't know if I'm tweaking for saying that. I'm just saying that I kind of get like a Wolf of Wall Street vibe from the overall theme, or just the vibe of the movie. So if you haven't seen it, make sure to go watch it. It's from the same creator as, I want to say, Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. So go watch it. Fantastic movie. Now let's switch topics to the television industry. Unfortunately, we got some unfortunate news from the past week. Stranger Things Volume 2 has released, and people have mixed opinions on it. I'm going to talk about my personal opinions afterwards, but people are saying that the 3 episodes we received on Christmas Day was just a nothing burger. Absolutely nothing. Saying that some of the choices that the writers made kind of make no sense at all. To which I kind of agree to some extent. Let me just talk about it. So, let me talk about what we did get revealed. Spoiler warning again. If you haven't seen Stranger Things Volume 2, I'd skip around or just not listen to this episode. But we have learned a significant amount of information from these past few episodes from Stranger Things. We learned that the Upside Down is a wormhole and not a separate world, but it is a sort of path to a different world, I guess, or a different period of time. Holly is... I feel so bad for the Holly character. She is getting tortured left and right. I don't even know if she's alive right now because the show this volume ended with all the kids being vecna'd. I don't know what the correct terminology would be for that, but their eyes roll back and their bones begin to crack. So, GG, I guess. Holly was good character run for the time being. But yeah, all good things must end. But to be honest, I don't, what else happened? I can't really think of. Oh yeah, Will came out for like 20 minutes. He had to talk about that for like 20 minutes when the world's gonna end. That's a big complaint that a lot of people don't like. The world they currently have less than 24 hours before the world crumbles in on itself, and Will's just talking about how he's gay and he's coming out. Um, Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that like maybe there's should be some more, and maybe there's a more appropriate time to come out to your peers than this exact moment. But that's just my general perspective. I'm just saying. Yeah. Um, One thing I'm gonna actually rant about this to you guys as well. I know I'm probably missing a bunch of things, but uh, in the grand scheme of things, just people are kind of not loving this volume, and now it's my time to rant, right? I was talking about this earlier today. I just thought about it, and I kind of just I don't know. It's been on my mind. I can't get it out of my mind. If you've seen Stranger Things, you know that seasons 3 and 4 have a very different subplot. The Russian subplot of them discovering the Upside Down and discovering the creatures that live inside of it, and sort of capturing them for their amusement and for their control and power against their enemies. My question, I have a couple. One, maybe I just need to rewatch it, but here are my questions. One, how did they gain access to this? How do they gain access to the Upside Down? How do they open a gate? How are they able to do that? I know they had a machine and everything, but like, how do they know? Why? How do they discover their first gate? Like how? Like how? Secondly, are we just not going to bring that back up in the 5th season because we have 2 hours left of the show and we have not brought that 2-season huge subplot of the show back? To the point, it's basically not even a subplot. It's basically just the show. Hopper had a fake out death in season 3, came back in season 4. He was in Russia for the majority of season 4, and we're just not going to talk about it. It didn't even happen. And yeah, they kind of closed some doors for the end of season 4 with that, but if I'm not mistaken, they definitely still have creatures in Russia, right? They definitely still they're definitely still there. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Needless to say, the Duffer Brothers kind of seems like they're writing has gotten a little lazy, and they kind of don't know how to wrap their own show up. I also did hear a rumor that over 113 minutes were edited out of the 3 episodes, and a lot of scenes were taken out, which kind of explains why some parts were sort of confusing and didn't really make that much sense. I also do feel that the acting kind of decreased in quality over this season. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rank the seasons. I think season 4 is on top. Definitely. Don't even pretend like it's not. Then this might be a hot take. I think season 3 is the next part there. I really enjoyed season 3. I don't understand the hate that it gets. I thought it flowed very nicely, and it was definitely like a fresh breath of air than the other seasons. It definitely feels different, but it's just nice. Then I think season 1. I think season 1 is 3rd place because unfortunately I think that season 5 is right next to season 2, and I kind of disliked season 2 a little bit. I thought it was kind of goofy, and to have the finale, the final season, be next to that's just unfortunate to see. I hate to see that, but yeah, I mean, volume 1 of Stranger Things season 5 had the bar set to like this might be better than season 4. But now it's just like this might be the biggest flop in television history, besides like Hunger Games. So, we'll see. as when I'm recording this, less than 24 hours, we're going to know the ending of Stranger Things. So, yeah. Well, I'll just have to see. I really will. All right, to finish up our new segment for this episode, let's discuss the future movies for 2026. This is going to cover everything. 2026 is going to be a very exciting year for films and cinema, so here we go. We have 28 years later, The Bone Temple. This is a sort of not a knockoff, but like a continuation of the story of the 20, like 20 days later, then 20 months later, now 20 years later. It's a continuation of 20 years later, where we discuss about the Bone Temple. If you need to watch the movie, so obviously, yeah, so just watch 20 years later if you don't know about it. Next, we have the 7th adaptation of the Scream franchise. Very exciting. Project Hail Mary, I discussed that in a past episode, so I'm very excited for that. Ryan Gosling. I am a huge fan. Super Mario Galaxy movie looks very good. Michael. Also, I discussed this in a previous episode. I want to book my ticket now. I want to see it immediately. Mortal Kombat 2, I kind of forgot about that. We kind of forgot about this movie that they were making it. Yeah. I mean, the first one was good. We'll see how this one is. I'm kind of questioning it. The Mandalorian and Grogu. I think I'm pronouncing that last name right. I don't really care that much, though. I'm kind of on the fence with Star Wars. It's a love-hate relationship, really. Scary Movie 6, I'll be seated down for that one. Yeah, I'm going to be there. Scary Movie 6, I am very excited for that. Toy Story 5, I will also be seated for that. I'm kind of questioning it. I really hope it's good. Of course, I want to see Pixar succeed. So, yeah. Supergirl looks very good. I love Superman. Great movie. I know it's not James Gunn directing this, but it does look very interesting and like a very good movie, so I'll be watching that. Moana live action. Here's where this is where it starts to get rough. I don't know. I discussed this in a previous episode. I kind of have mixed opinions about this one. I really don't understand why Disney needs to just milk everything that they like. One good idea, they just need to milk it for all of eternity. So we'll see how the live action Moana is. I don't even know. The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. I will be there. No questions asked. I will be there. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Wow. I keep forgetting the amount of movies we're getting this year. We're getting so much. I will be there, again, for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Street Fighter. I don't know. I don't really know. I didn't really play the Street Fighter games, but if it looks good, then it looks good. Then I'll maybe see it. We'll see. Sunrise on the Reaping. Yeah, I don't know what that one is. I just have a list here that I'm reading off of. So I don't know about that movie. We'll see. And of course, probably the biggest movie of the year. Just size-wise, I guess. We have Avengers Doomsday. Man, is people are gonna be seated for that. I definitely will be. I think the second trailer just came out today or like a couple days ago. Well, Thor is the second trailer because, like I said, they're doing a cycle of there's a new trailer per week, so until the 4th week where there's just the trailer of Avengers Doomsday does come out. So very exciting. Oh yeah, Jumanji 4 also does come out. Hopefully that doesn't end up being a flop. I really would hate that to happen. But yeah, those are the movies coming out for 2026. A very exciting year. In the television industry, actually, we do have a couple interesting ones. The one that I can only think of right now is just The Boys will be ending. I actually do enjoy The Boys show. I think that it's I understand why people kind of dislike it. It's very inappropriate and the jokes kind of are a little too much, but I enjoy it. I like the whole storyline that they're going with that. So yeah, but yeah, that'll be it for the news segment. Um, yeah. So let's talk about the main thing. I'm gonna do a little drink of water real quick. Hold on. Okay. Let's talk about Flaunt Films. 2026 is going to be very different. What I mean by this is that I want Flaunt Films to be very it's going to be different because it's going to be successful. I have made a very large amount of mistakes when it comes to just content creation and being professional with products and just being, I don't know, on track of when I need to get projects done and like how do I get this video to look good to its best capability and how can I perform better in post-production, production, pre-production, and all that. And I really do want 2026 to be the part where I do, like, you can see change. And obviously you should never wait. Like, oh, new year coming up in a couple weeks. Let me just wait to do everything better now. Or like let me just wait until the new year for me to fix all my stuff. Obviously, no. I will say that I think I'm already getting better at it. I just need I understand that I procrastinated way too much on Gone Awry. And I do think that it can be seen because I do enjoy the film and I'm glad that it's receiving some positive feedback. I don't think it's as good as it could have been. I truly do. Or I truly don't. So, no one else is to blame besides me. So, 2026, I really just need to improve on, my own personal film creation and just working on projects and everything and making money. Give me money. Here, let me just talk about this. I would love to make Flaunt Films very successful. And I have some very exciting projects coming up for 2026. And one of them possibly would include maybe getting some merchandise. I think that would be nice. Slapping the old Flaunt Films logo on some hats or like a t-shirt, some sweatpants, who knows. We'll see. But, not talking about merchandise, let's talk about actual projects for Flaunt Films. Let's talk about a project that I will not name at this moment, but I am going to be working on a new project, sort of like Gone Awry, in the sense that it's a very large production. I want to have a larger team for it. I want to put much more time and effort into it. And it's not going to be a movie. I think I want this to be a television show or a series, a very limited series. I have a bunch of ideas running through my head. I'm currently kind of like in the writing phase of just understanding what the characters do and their character arcs and like how everything kind of is put together. But I would love to have the pilot of a possible series on Flaunt Films be released in 2026, which it is 100% going to. That's going to be the big project of the year, and I am not going to wait until December to do it. I want this to be out by September, late September, early October for the fall season. This is going to be a nice mystery genre show. Kind of inspired by Stranger Things, maybe It from 2017, and Gravity Falls. I know that's a very wide spectrum of examples, but I grew up watching Gravity Falls, and I enjoy the whole mystery aspect they had with it, and I would definitely love to experiment with that a little bit. So, yeah. Stranger Things, obviously, just to get those scary vibes, especially It as well. It Chapter 1. I also I know we're not talking about the news, but I did hear that they were making an It Chapter 3 a few minutes ago before I started recording this. Forgot to mention that earlier, but yeah, they apparently It Chapter 3 is like kind of in production right now. or pre-production in the writing phase. So that'll be interesting. I did hear that what they wanted to do was finish up the show, and then when the show ends, do one final movie, and then that's a wrap for the It cinematic universe with Pennywise. So we'll see how that goes. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah. So anyways, talking about Font Films, the pilot episode of a possible series will release sometime in 2026. I'm currently rounding up the troops. Is that the saying? I don't know if that's the saying. It doesn't matter. To get a team to work with for this series, at least the pilot episode. I can't really go into detail on what the project is now, but a teaser will release soon. If not, no, it'll release soon. A teaser for this show, or at least the pilot of I guess the project. A teaser for the project will release soon. So keep your eyes out for that. Maybe this upcoming Friday. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll see. Nothing major. It'll just be a little teaser. I don't even know how much it's gonna show, so don't get your hopes up. But yeah. What's some other information about Font Films for the next year? I can talk about this podcast. So if you're a listener to the Morning Tape podcast, I appreciate you. I wanted this project to sort of be a fun little, behind the scenes look at Font Films projects, just to get, my following to sort of be excited for the next project and stuff. However, we don't have the largest, unfortunately, we don't have the largest following as of right now. So that's not going to change anything. We're still going to be posting weekly. It's just that maybe briefly we'll have a short pause in uploads to the Morning Tapes podcast in early January, just to sort of maybe fix it up a little bit, clean it up, clean the podcast up, maybe format it a little differently, make it more interesting towards the general audience. And yeah, I love the overall theme, but we can definitely make it look a little bit nicer. And possibly maybe even find a new home. Because I've noticed this over the past few weeks that Font Films, it's kind of looking a little chaotic with all the new episodes of the Morning Tapes. Because we have my uploads and also the Morning Tapes uploads. So maybe it'll be smarter, I think, to make the Morning Tapes its own home. And have its own YouTube channel to just be like, if you listen to the podcast, you can just subscribe to the Morning Tapes podcast, or if you're not interested, you just subscribe to me. I think that'll be smarter just because it is getting a little chaotic on the Font Films. I don't know why I keep saying that. On my channel, it's looking a little chaotic. Just because of here we got the Disney vlogs, and then this is my film, but you need to scroll through 17 different episodes of the Morning Tapes podcast to get there. So maybe it'll just be smarter just to have its own home, and if you're interested, just listen to there. Obviously, you can still listen to it on Spotify and Apple Podcast, if you're not already doing that. But yeah, maybe on YouTube, just have it find its own home on the Morning Tapes YouTube channel, which I could definitely see be a possibility in the future. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. I always appreciate some advice or what you think. So yeah. So I think that's actually going to do it. I don't really think there's much else to say. I discussed the future project for Font Films. The name will be revealed sometime in January, so get excited for that. As well as I think we'll have a small event just for this episode or this project's announcement reveal. It'll be fun. We'll do that sometime early January. Well, maybe late January, early February. We'll see. But yeah. Also, I'll quickly mention that I'm currently working on the behind the scenes of Gone Awry, very early parts of it. kind of just rounding up all the footage and just making sure it's all there, and then just finding some clips that'll be interesting to see. But that'll be coming out next year. Keep your eyes out for that. Yeah, just to get some behind the scenes of my first film, see how kind of messy and sloppy the production was. But I think it'll be important because it kind of shows me the progress over the years of just how I worked on different film projects, and yeah. But I think that's gonna be the last time I mention Gone Awry like that. It was fun, but the ship has sailed. I think that's about it. We are moving on to more exciting projects, and I think this new project of the pilot episode for this new series is going to be 1,000 times better than Gone Awry. Without a doubt, more interesting. The possibilities of this series is phenomenal. It's just great that there's so many possibilities. You guys are going to love it. You really are. Like, some people, you might have some mixed opinions on Gone Awry. I get that. It's very experimental. This new series, I think, many people will love. If you enjoy Gravity Falls, if you enjoy Stranger Things seasons 1 through 4, then you're going to love this show. If we do, the pilot's going to be made, and if the general audience does find it to be very good, and they want a continuation of it, we will do that. So, yeah. That'll do it for this episode of the Morning Tapes podcast, and that's kind of a wrap for 2025. This is the last upload for 2025, so thank you all. If you've been watching Font Films this year, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, and 2026 is going to be so much better. You have no idea. I'm going to work better on myself for film projects. We're going to get this done. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah. Thank you all for listening, and if I don't talk to you next week, I will talk to you sometime in the very near future. So, bye guys.